Breaking news. He wants this to be over quickly. Putin ally Erdogan has made an unexpected statement about the conflict in Ukraine. Is there hope for a resolution to the conflict in Ukraine? Putin has apparently offered to mediate the conflict with Erdogan. He sees no reason to doubt the Kremlin chief's statements. Istanbul, Ankara President Recep Tayyip Erdogan maintains cordial ties with his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin. The two heads of state finally met for the first time at the beginning of September in the Russian city of Sochi on the Black Sea, where they discussed the recently promised Getreodiabkommon. In this case, a renegotiation of the agreement did not materialize. The Turkish president recently reaffirmed his good relations with Putin in an interview with the American broadcaster PBS. The sanctions against Russia will not involve his country. Additionally, Erdogan stated that Moscow would like to see the Ukraine conflict ended. Mr. Putin is in favor of ending this conflict as soon as possible. That's exactly what he's saying. And I believe his words, Erdogan said in the interview. Turkey and Russia will continue to work together because Erdogan trusts Putin. Erdogan's response to the question of whether or not he trusts Putin was unequivocal and critical of the West. I don't see any reason not to put my faith in Putin. Russia is just as trustworthy as the Western world. I trust Russia just as much as the West. Erdogan is frustrated that Turkey has been waiting decades to join the European Union. At the most recent NATO summit in Vilnius, the Turkish president had previously made Sweden's entry into the alliance conditional on the country gaining EU membership. However, he eventually freed himself from that constraint. Russia's aggressive war. Turkey benefits from the conflict in Ukraine. Turkey benefits from this war. It cooperates with Russian firms, and it also sells military hardware to the Ukraine in the form of drones. The country, cut off from the West, relies on Turkey to gain access to Western technology. Because of this, the United States recently imposed sanctions on 4 Turkish businesses and 1 businessman. Turkey relies heavily on Russia. Every year, millions of tourists flock to the country, bringing in much-needed foreign currency. Putin and Erdogan have made a pact with the devil over the dispute over Berg-Karabakh because Russia supplies Turkey with the bulk of its natural gas needs. The Turkey-European Union relationship is changing. However, tensions between Turkey and the European Union continue to rise. In its most recent Turkey report, the European Parliament sharply criticized Ankara for human rights abuses. Therefore, the EU accession talks with Turkey should be continued in a new frame, as urged by Turkish EU parliamentarians, report authors. Erdogan had expressed his anger over the report and warned Brussels. EU leaders have been working hard to separate themselves from Turkey. Turkey will assess the situation in light of recent events and may decide to sever ties with the European Union, Erdogan said at a press conference.